that. Zoom. Yeah, that is. So we bought the 155, we sold the 188 calls April 9th. So if it goes next week to 180, then our calls will be at least double. Okay? So that's
And
Zoom.
one quick question. So we close right when it kind of touches, let's say 200% or 100%. We close both of the legs.
No. So I have provided the target zones. Look at the target zones: 164, 165, 180, 182, and 200. So use the target zones. If at 164, 165, it can be priced at 50% premium, the spread, or 70% or 100%. I don't know. Okay. So when it hits your target zone, you take your profits and keep some and ride it higher to 180, 182. If you feel like if you feel like 164, it closed on a daily basis, it closed at 164, then it's pretty much going to give you a gap and go scenario. And then if you don't want to take a profit, don't take it. And then, you're basically going to be holding a risk of holding it overnight. There'll be a risk of holding it overnight, and you're expecting for a move towards 180 next. So decide where you want to take the profit, and play around that.
Yeah, but we close the pair together. That's what I was asking. Like at the first target zone,
yes.
we close one buy to open.
Yes. So when you do a spread, as you open the spread, you close the spread together. So if you bought 5 contracts or 155 calls plus sell the open 180 call spread, then you can close 3 contracts of it by taking the profits at target zone 1, and you can keep the remaining 2 contracts as it is, and then write it up. So yeah, you do the same thing as you did when you opened the position. Okay. All right. We have 13 more minutes. Let's move to the trigger sheet. The next one is T-Doc. All you need is, I talked about this, all you need Trump to talk about, what do you say, telemedicine or telehealth, and we'll rip. All right. I'm bullish on T-Doc. Why? Let's see. So the support is held. This support is held. This support is held. Okay. So the support is held. The next thing is on the weeklies, the MACD is expanding. The other thing is the volume. Look at the volume from 23 million. It hit last week 36 million. That's 50% increase in the volume. Okay, from the previous week. So I'm bullish on that. So any close above 176.40 this week, we have a potential to go to 200 and then 218. Okay, 215, 218. So we have a play on that as well. I think it's, what is it, T-Doc. I mean, you guys know we already have a play in T-Doc. We're already up on T-Doc. We did good. We played a put position after taking the calls. So our calls are, it hit 200% because if you sold the puts, if you took the put play along with me, then you're technically a T-Doc 180 calls were $3.30. So we made like $9.75. And we locked profit at $11.50 last week. So now our trade is free because we hit target zone 1 and target zone 2 is 176, 177. So you can't lose this trade because it's a free trade right now. So all you got to do is not screw it up from here. Okay. So see how this week goes. It's April 17th expiration. So there's 3 more weeks for expiration. Even if we get an inside week or a low pullback volume week this week, it can set it up for move towards 218 in coming weeks. So I'm bullish in T-Doc. If 176 hits, your target zone 2 hits, your calls would be worth way more. Right now, if you take a look, what is April 17? It's $9.25 right now. So even if you did not do the puts, you bought it at $5.50, it's up more than 50%. Okay, so you guys are already up. Right, this it went up to 16.8. That's the high. So possibly we'll see 11.5 again. In terms of premium, basically 176, 177 is the next spot, is what I'm looking at. Okay. So T-Doc, That's bullish. Moderna, I talked about this in the chat room. I also posted the trigger sheet last week telling that, Moderna April month is pretty crucial. We know that National Institute of Health is going to talk about how their drug is doing. They've been working with the government. So it's been sideways of what, 5 weeks. So you can expect the same thing. You can expect a pop to 34, 30, 35, 36 next week, and then come back and test this 29 area again. Look at this, 78.6. It's been keep testing this spot. If this 36 clears and it holds, we can see 40.5. Okay. The other thing is, last week we had 51 million compared to the previous week, which is 166 million. So Moderna is technically an inside week right now, nothing more. Okay. So I do expect 36 possibly tested next week. I'm not sure if that's going to be broken until we hear any news, but next week we can likely test 36 and then, pull back. So if you're already holding Moderna April 17, 35 calls or any other calls, if you rolled up, then good. If not, you can, if 30 holds on Monday or 29 holds on Monday, it's a good spot. 28.50 holds on Monday, it's a good spot to add and go long. You can take a trade based on that. Okay. So the low of 27.95 is key hold on Monday. If that holds, or 29.80. Okay. If 29.80, 29.50 holds, then you can go long for 35 and 36, 32, 35, 36. TLT. A lot of you have been impatient about TLT, I know. It's tested a lot of people's patience. We have been holding TLT. We did the weekly last but 1 week. We did the weekly 165 calls. We made profits and we rolled up to April 17 expiration. So that was a good trade. This is because of inverse head and shoulders. I'm trying to just show you guys that. So this is clearly an inverse head and shoulders, right? Your left, your right, and your head, right? So it broke above that on Friday. Okay. So 166 is pretty important number. If we hold 166, 165 area, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is, this is heading towards 170. 170 breaks, 173 happens, and above 173, it's 180. MACD just crossed above. Look at this. MACD crossed above it, and it took 3 days to clear the resistance. So now you can expect a stretch from MACD. Okay, look at this. This gives you even better view. The MACD crossed 3 days before, and then the price moves above it. So now we can expect this to go higher. So I'm expecting 170, 170, 121, 173, 173 to be tested. If we close 173 and above, we get 180. These are the spots I would lock profits on our 175s. We close above that, there's no stop until 204. Okay, so that's your TLT. On weekly, it's a doji previous week, confirmation last week, which we broke. So I'm pretty bullish on TLT bonds. So expect a move towards 179.70 next week, possibly. And then, we can stall around this and then move further up. So next week is crucial. So either we go to 180 or we fail to break out this 165, 166 spot and close below to touch the lows of 156. Okay, but looks bullish to me right now. I think futures is up. There's no movement in futures, only 4 points. So I think this is one of these rare times in last few weeks where futures is not gapped up 100 points or gapped down 100 points or 50 points. So futures not doing much. So that's good. The new addition to this trigger sheet for next week is work. Slack has been doing pretty good. It's pretty bullish. Lot of more and more people are working from home. More and more companies are doing that. So this is a bullish pattern here. This is the next resistance. So watch this consolidate for a day or two. If it gaps above 30 and it holds, I would say 30.5 and it holds, then it would run to 31.70 and 36. So work is pretty bullish. If you look at the weekly, it's pretty bullish. There's been a lot of accumulation last 2 weeks, 132 million, 95 million. So if we hold about 30.5 weekly close, this is going to 32.5, then it's coming to 34, 36, which is 78.6. It should stall around 61.8, or it might just stall around 78.6. So these are the two areas work is going to go. So 30, you can play along buying the stock with a stop at, you can use a stop of 26, okay, on a weekly close, and you can, which is $2, $2.50 stop, and you can ride this to 36 or even 42. So I'm bullish on work. So in coming weeks, we can expect Zoom work to go up a lot more. Netflix. I love this pattern. It's just been range bound. It goes up, breaks, comes back down. Test the resistance, comes back down. Test the resistance, comes back down. Look at this. Every time it did the same thing, right? Once test the resistance, pull back. Twice, pull back. This time it tested, went above, it basically failed, pulled back. So now you have a possibility of this going to 393. Earnings is coming soon, which is April 21st. So there's a possibility that if it gaps above on Monday to 373, sorry, not 373, hold on, let me see. Gap above 369. Yeah, if we get a gap above 369 on Monday, then we can expect this to go back up. But I doubt it's going to happen that. 50 is 356.9, so it's just holding the 50 moving average. There's a possibility we would see 349 and maybe 341. So if that happens, that's a good spot to go long. The 10 moving average is rising up, so I'm expecting a move towards this area. If that this is a good spot for you to go long on Netflix and ride this up again to 365, 373. Okay, so I think they're going to keep this in range bound until probably a week before earnings, and they'll try and push this up. So earnings will be pretty crucial for Netflix. All right, 2 more minutes for the futures. Futures is already up. Let's look at that. Okay, so futures not doing much, guys. Let's look at the daily. Yep, futures is not doing much. Yeah, so I think looks like it might just drop lower. Let's look at the 4 hours. Yeah, this is a bearish pattern. So if this doesn't clear above 26.35, then we should bounce around 24. We should bounce around 24. What is that spot? 24.50. We should bounce around 24.50 and go back up and test this again. So this is a bearish pattern, but there is a minor bullish setup here, a flag. Okay, so yeah, okay, there it is. Futures is up 64. We are down 65 points. There it goes. So it gaps down to 65 points. So this flag has been broken down. So expect a test of 24.90. If that doesn't get taken out, we can expect a gap down on Monday. So this on daily, yep, 2400. So it's important that we hold 2400, and if we do, this can go back to 2630. So let's keep an eye on this. But there's a possibility that we can gap down on, likelihood that we'll gap down on Monday if we don't close back about 2520. Okay. All right. So now what else? We have done with the indices. We have talked about the futures. Let's take some questions. Let's take
Yeah,
a
hi,
look at some
T W,
questions.
one quick question.
Okay, announce your name.
Yeah,
Let's
this
see.
is Ramesh. So on
Okay,
that 4 hour chart, say for example, if I got Tesla weekly and you are saying I need to look at 4 hour chart to determine if what is the stop for that. So do I need to draw fib retracement to know exactly what is a stop for that, or what exactly is that?
okay. So could you repeat your question again? So you're taking a long on Tesla.
Yeah, I got a weekly on Tesla.
Okay.
Now I wanted to know what is a stop for that, looking at the
So it,
4 hour chart.
so again, so when you get into a trade, you should always decide what you're going to be your support, resistance, and stops. Okay. So flip alone is not going to be enough for you to determine that. There's a lot of things you need to consider. I look at
Okay.
trend lines and volume and all of that thing apart from moving averages. So I don't know what trade you took on the weeklies. It's really difficult for me to determine that. But look at the lows of Friday, 494. So if that breaks, I would get out. Right, 494 on a daily close or a 4-hour close. So let's look at the 4-hour on Tesla. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So 519. So this Tesla closed at 514. Okay. The next support is this trend line that I drew. Yeah. Okay. So basically, if Tesla doesn't get over 520 uh, or even above 535, if Tesla doesn't get over 526, then it's going to head lower to 460, which is basically coincides with this area of support. Okay.
Mhm.
So so basically I would use daily Friday lows of 494 as your first level of support. If that doesn't hold, then you can use 460 as your next level of support, 460,
Okay.
450 area. So based on that, you can choose whichever you're comfortable with your stop, or you can roll up to a different expiration, or you can take your loss and wait for it and buy at those support areas. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So wow, that's 21. So guys, let's see. Can you also how to what is it? Russell RET in how many weeks? Explain more on the 4-hour win, but choice 2 is the only way you can give back all your gains. Yes, agreed. Choice 3 works in a matter that is continuously going higher. I've traded using by selling half at 75 to 100 Sometimes I roll up the remaining. Works like a charm. So this is pretty useful. So sometimes you leave money on the table. At times could leave levels on BKNG. Okay, so let's look at rings later. Probably going to bring down ZM next week. They killed it. Okay, I need to see which one it is. Okay, so let's look at guys. You can actually unmute yourself if you have a question or if you want to talk about a particular chart. Just unmute yourself. Okay, so let's look at. There's been a request for BKNG. Okay, bookings. Okay. I don't know why booking went up, first of all, on last week. It shouldn't have, but because they're not making any business, right? I mean, everything is shut down. The hotels, restaurants, the flights. So this is useless. So, sorry, I'm just looking at what happened to the futures. It's about 2490. Okay, so futures, they gap down and it's bouncing up nicely. So let's see if 2493 clears. If not, then it should pull back. Okay, moving on to bookings.com. Yeah, so use 1246 as your, 1246. Use 1246. Let's see, 1252, 1252. Okay, I would use the 1246 or 1250. 1250, 1246 as your support area in bookings. So that this is going to be a support area. If on Monday, if we gap down, watch if on the first half it bounce. If it takes out 1252 or 1270, then it'll go back up to 1355 and then into the 1450, 14, 1420, 1450, 1420, 1430, and 1450. Okay, but below 1246, we have moved towards 1200 and 1107. So 1200 and I would say 1150 and then 1107. So that's what I would look at bookings. Okay. What else you guys have? Yes, I'm looking at 900 too. I'm looking at 750s in bookings. So let's see. Not necessarily. Does it mean TLT goes up with market down? Kind of. Yes. You could say that. Any other? Okay. Do you think Ring's latest product is going to bring down ZM? Well, I've not looked into the Ring's latest product, but that's a good stock that you brought up. So let me talk about Ring. I'm bullish on Ring. This is really bullish for me. So that's look at the weekly. Look at this 11 and 9.6. So this is setting up really nice. So this is something I was watching on Friday. Okay, so let's see what happens on next week. If we clear about 252 or 253 area, if we hold close on weekly about that, this has lot of room higher. So to see how far we can go, let's see daily. Yeah, I think I'll just use the weekly. Okay, so yeah, this has room to 300, 325. So Ring looks good. It's bullish on that. If you look at this, it's been holding the support all along. It's been holding the support area. Okay, so anytime next time it goes to the support area, it's worth buying. You know, you can just buy this. Okay, at this spot. You can put another support is this one. It's not just the 21 moving average. It's also the support of FIB 61.8, 207 with multiple candlesticks hitting at this area. So this is a good support as well. So 252, I'm bullish on Ring for it to go back up. There's a possibility that we can see a move down here like this for the next few weeks, right? The reason for that to create a, a big, to minimize this, the trend line here. So make this as close as possible for it to then completely break out, right? So there's a possibility that this we can be in a range and then break out. Okay, so Ring is a good one to keep an eye on. Let's see what else. Amazon chart. Why is this bullish now? Not a few days ago. Before. Well, I didn't. I was not looking at it, Jimmy. So that's why. It was bullish a few days ago as well because it broke the. It held at 21 moving average and it reversed back. So if you take a look at the daily, because of the news, it went back up. But otherwise, let's take a look at it daily. Okay, so it was below your 50 moving. It was testing this area for last 2-3 days. Okay, so I clearly missed this move. Of course, the news came, I think, on 26th, and that's where it moved up. And then again on Friday, the bigger news on Friday that came that pushed it up. So this was a good spot on Thursday to go long, and then Friday it pushed it up. So that's what Ring. Okay, Amazon. Amazon 1957. That's the number I posted. I still stick with that. Last week it tried to look at it. Last week it tried to clear that multiple locations. It couldn't. Okay, once, twice, three times. It failed all along. But it looks bullish to me because all these. This is a strong support area. Okay, so Amazon, even on a longer trend. So it's an inside week. So 1957 clears next week. I would go long Amazon. We can see 2000, 2039, and then into the gap fill of 2088. So let's keep a watch on Amazon next week. What do you say? Amazon and Ring can be something that we can keep an eye on. So next week, okay? So 1957 is all you need to know. If it is above 1957, it's a good long play. TNDM, and then talk about hedging. But is it too prudent to have a percentage of total position value in a hedge fund in these market conditions? For example, when the portfolio has mainly long position, you should hedge. It's really important. If you are actually heavy long, or have a lot of long position, you should hedge. That's why I took UVXY call spread because I'm expecting UVXY to go back up. That's one of the thing I have. I have SPY put spread as well, and I also have TLT, right? So I'm playing these along with my longs. Okay, so you don't have to go heavy on your hedges because hedges are meant to be where you have a decent size, like probably 1/10 of your total total long position that you have, 1/10 of it. So if you have like say $10,000 on long side of your trades, $1,000 is good enough for your hedge because all you're trying to do is recover the premium that you lose on your long side. Okay, so that's what I would do with respect to the hedging. Tandem, I think I wouldn't play long on Tandem right now. I mean, this has been the spot 74 area, 75 area. It broke, it posted it gave a reversal signal on the monthlies. If you take a look at this, this is basically a reversal signal here, candle here on monthly, and then we confirmed on March and we pushed lower and it hit the 50 moving average and it bounced up. So I would wait on Tandem, keep an eye. If 75 clears, then it's worth going long. 75, 78 clears, worth going long. You have 80, 78, 80 is a good spot to go long. So 74, 75, you can scale in, say 1/3 of your position into long side, and then 80, if it clears, you can go long further, adding more, and it can go to 91 again. Okay, but to me, it's been in a 1.5 years of consolidation since 2009. What is it? Not 9. Is it 19? Sorry. Yeah, February of 2019. It's been over a year of long consolidation. Okay, so watch this 50 moving average to turn upside. That's when I would be more comfortable on adding more to the long side. Okay, guys, let's see how much time we have left. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. Let's see. Yes, that is a spot on weekly as well. Let's see. It depends on the time frame, Harpreet. So you have to use the closing time frame. So if it is use hourly if you're buying weekly options, or 4 hours if you're buying bi-weekly options. Just depends on the time frame. So you use the closing price of that particular candle on that particular time frame. MDT and Disney. Okay, let's see. Yeah, MDT is a short to me. So watch 88. If that breaks, you'll see 82, 82-ish, 81, 82, and then 76. This is the area. So MDT, there are better stocks out there. I would avoid these. but on a monthly it looks bearish. So you can see on a weekly it looks like a bounce to 97 possible. Yeah, 96, 97. So if 90 clears next week, 96, 97 is doable on MDT. 95, 97, that's the range. So this range is doable next week and possibly move to 104. But on a monthly, it's bearish to me. Daily looks like we could pull back and then go up. So yeah, keep an eye on this. I mean, there are better stocks out there, but that's with MDT. Disney and JPM. Okay, Disney. I apologize for my charts like these. These are like pretty bad. Okay. Yeah, Disney is bad. I don't like this. If it breaks 95, you can see going towards the gap fill, which is 87-ish. So Disney, that's what is there in Disney. Above 98, you can go long. Above 98, you can go long for a push towards 107-ish, which is the last week's high. And above that, test the 200 moving average, 130. So use those numbers. And below 95, you possibly will see 91.8. And if that breaks, you see a gap fill. So that's what Disney. CLX. Oh, I forgot about CLX. Okay, so CLX. Thank you for reminding me on CLX. I'm bullish on CLX. It's holding the support from weeks. It, this is a bullish trade. Look at this. Last how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's been testing the support area of 166. That's why I keep saying 166 is pretty important. As long as we hold 166, this is going back to 178, 179 area. The day we break 179, it has room to 191 and then 240. So CLX is bullish. It's been a range trade. It's been holding this range and this support. So as long as the weekly closes above 166, you're good. That's what you need to remember. And above 179, it breaks out. Okay? Those are the two numbers I would keep in mind. Thoughts on Tilray? There are hundreds of companies out there. Are we limiting a certain few companies only? Looking those for one, do you look for other companies? So I have a list of my watch list, which has over 200 stocks, or 200, I guess, 200, 300. And I keep looking at those because, I mean, you can trade so many different stocks, but I rather trade something that I already know how it's moved in past in different support resistant points. And all that matters in the end is for you to make money. It doesn't matter which stock, because you cannot keep a tab on thousands. We have like what, 4,000, 5,000 companies. There's no way you can keep a tab on it. And every time you keep adding more and more stocks to your list, it's going to be difficult for you to understand the characteristics of those stocks and how they move in different support and resistance points. So that's why it's important to keep a limited number of stocks and use those, because in the end what matters is for you to make money, nothing more. Okay. Tilray. Tilray is heading to $13, guys. I'm bullish on this. There was a doji on March 16th week. We got a confirmation on heavy volume. That's like twice, more than 150% volume. That's twice, more than 2 times, 2.5 times. So Tilray is a good play. If you want to go long, I would buy 10 calls for next week. It's not a bad idea at all. You can see $13 on Tilray. I might post some trades on Tilray. So let's keep an eye on that. Okay. I'll do 4 more, guys. NVIDIA, Regeneron. I saw the news on ABT. Funny you mentioned that, but it looks good. It's been holding this support, so it looks good, and it's been holding this support area. So you could use. I mean, I don't like the options, the risk reward. I don't think that's great, but we could see 82 possibly, 82 and 85. That's basically another $6 to $10, right? So that's what I would look at Abbott. Daily looks bullish, so watch this spot to hold, which is 73 area. If this holds, you can go long. If 76 holds, that's even better. It did not hold on Friday, so if 73 fails, we likelihood would go lower to, 70s. Okay, so keep an eye on EBT. Guys, Nvidia and Regeneron are the last ones I would take. Can you share the watch list for TOS? I don't have it on my TOS. I have it on my trading platform. How do you build that list? I've built this list over the years. I look at volume, I look at accumulation, I look at the products, I look at the growth, and I look at long-term technicals to see how much of room they have in terms of where they are. If they are at the bottom of the charts, where they have the strong support, then I'll use that as an advantage, right? And I add those to my watch list. What are you looking to add on Tilray on a pullback? So Tilray, I talked about 10 calls are good. Let me look at a couple of stocks, Regeneron and Nvidia. I'll look at that, and then I'll take a few more questions. No charts. Regeneron's pretty straightforward. It's been, playing with this range. So just use this range, I would say. So this is what I'm expecting of Regeneron. So let's see, this is what is going to happen with Regeneron. It's going to stick around with this range, guys. It's going to bounce off this, go back to 490s. So expect a move towards 463, 477, and then 490. Then again, short it at here, go down, then again go up. So it's creating an ascending pattern, and as it gets closer, which would be around mid-April, because Regeneron announced that after mid-April they will be announcing about how their drug is doing. So I'm expecting this to be stay in range. So it's a good spot for you to play long if it holds 440, and you can trade it in the range to 470, 477, then 490, and then short again at this spot, then long again at this spot. So that's how I would play Regeneron. The last one, Nvidia. Too many trend lines. It's at the resistance level right now. So I would wait for it to gap above this. If not, watch for a hold of 253. Right now it's below that, so possibly we can see 243 and maybe also this 228 if needed. If market pulls back, if the market pulls back, likelihood will go down to 242, 250, 228, and then to the gap of 216. Okay, so that's what I would use with Nvidia. I'm holding small portion of stocks on Gilead, and I'm holding small portion of options. I've already locked profits on those. They are at profitable level for me. I would say if you want to hold stocks, then know your risk. If that drugs doesn't work, you'll end up losing. So maybe options is a better choice. The last one, WGAT. Is that even a ticker?
I think he meant what level. If you can look at
okay,
space.
what level? Okay. So for the Tilray, if it pulls back, 730 is a good spot for you to go long. I would say 730. So this is a good support, which is basically low of this 7. Okay, yeah. So I would use $6.89, $7 as a good spot. So 7.30, $7 a good spot for you to go long on Tilray. But if we gap above 9.7 or $10 on Monday, then and if we clear $11 this spot, then this is heading towards 13. So Tilray looks bullish to me. So 7 to 689, 7 are good spots to go long. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for dropping by. Thank you so much. This